Okay, we are recording. Hello, everybody, and happy April 23rd, right? Today's 23rd. Gosh, this month has just flown by. It's been crazy. Just getting all those newbies from our best month ever. I just saw that little video Alec and Tarl did where we had 42,000 new ambassadors added in March. Crazy town. And 55,000 ambassadors added in March if you count the upgrades from customer. So that is amazing. So that's a big jump, right? Because it goes up to 55,000 when you add in the upgrades from customers. So we did a great job in March. I can't wait to see how all those new ads affect our pay points for April. And I think right now it's going to really start jumping because we had a lot of those people add at the end of the month. So we're going to really start seeing points go up here at the end of the month. I know it. We're going to have some big promotions. It is my prediction. I am saying it now so we can all put it into practice and put it into place. So with that being said, Beth and Ariel both are busy today with other things, with other appointments. And so I'm here to welcome our sweet host, Jaclyn. She is a diamond. I got to hang out with her and Emily a little bit in Kansas City. When was that? February, end of February? It was the first tour this year for the Health and Happiness Tour. So fun. We got our hair done at this cool place. Let me think of the name because I've been saying it wrong all the time. It's hilarious. I want to say Pimp, but that's not it.
Primp and Blow.
Primp. It is not Pimp and Blow. But did that pop up in your head? I'm like, I know it's something funny. But anyway, we had the best time, and then I had to go back there, y'all, for a volleyball tournament just a couple of weeks ago. That is a fun little town. That is a fun place. I loved it. We had so much fun. So you got to go to that chicken and pickle place. That was a blast. We had fun there. And then where's the Power and Light District, right? So fun. We had a blast. Anyway, okay, so I am going to turn this over to Miss Jaclyn. She is going to fill us in with all kinds of greatness. And then we're going to hear her story, and then she's got some tips for us as well. And then after that, stay on, and I will fill you in with we'll just go a rundown of all the things going on in Plexus that I could remember because we have a lot going on after that. So here we go. Here's Miss Jaclyn.
There we go. Everybody can hear me okay? All right. Thank you so much for letting me join your team today. Oh my gosh, I'm already making it later. I can't do that because then my kids would not be picked up from preschool and that would be tragic. I'm a Diamond Senior Gold Ambassador, and as Alicia was saying, I live in Kansas City. I'm actually just outside of Kansas City on the Kansas side. I live in Overland Park with my husband and 3 kiddos. I've got she'll be 7 on Friday, a 5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. And if there was ever somebody's mugshot that would be shown in a Webster's dictionary of what a 2-year-old should be, it would be my 2-year-old. She is as cute as can be, but as cute as she is, she's just that ornery, maybe more. I tell her she has to be cute. We might not keep her around. It's kind of a circus here. But I love every minute of it. I actually began my Plexus journey just over 4 years ago. And at the time, I was a new stay-at-home mom. For 9 years, I taught 8th grade social studies, and I coached volleyball and track. And after having my first 2 kiddos, just 21 months apart, my teaching salary and the cost of daycare, it was kind of a wash. So reluctantly, I decided to stay home. I know that sounds so horrible to say, but that was never my goal. I never intended to be a stay-at-home mom. It made me nervous. My kids are very high energy. In fact, I had one of my friends tell me the other day, you've got 3 kids. And typically, if you've got 3 or more kids, you've at least got one kid that's maybe a little quiet or one that's maybe not so energetic. You don't have that, Jaclyn. I don't. So my first 2 gave me a run for my money, and I actually found it to be more relaxing to be in a classroom with smelly 8th graders than at home. That was such a hard thing. So staying home was new to me. and it was tough. I started to feel like I was losing my identity. I was wiping noses, I was making sandwiches, I was changing diapers, I was doing all these things that were just not in my plans. And so my friend Emily, that Alicia mentioned just a bit ago, Emily Finnell, we actually went to college together. We went to the University of Kansas, and we were in the same sorority. She had reached out to me about Plexus for like 6 months, and I had told her no or ignored her every single time. And mainly it was because I thought I knew all that there was to know about network marketing because of my, at the time, current experience. I was with a company, never built a team, never had one person sign under me. It was, very party heavy. So I hosted parties, I had to keep inventory. And while the products were good, the compensation plan was not. And so I liked the idea of network marketing. I liked the idea of being your own boss. That all sounded great. But I'm a teacher, I'm not trained in sales. I don't do that. I'm not good at it. I figured that out when I didn't get a 1099 in my first year with that company. To get a 1099, you have to earn $600 that year. So if that tells you how bad I was at this and how much I just assumed network marketing was not for me, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory right there. I don't really know what it was that finally made me say yes to Emily. I know it was, maybe a combination of things. She wore me down. She was very persistent, so let that be a lesson. She was persistent. I did have baby weight that I was still holding on to and wanted to lose. Had other health issues that I can get into here in a little bit. But I kind of almost think that there's a little bit of divine intervention. I feel like if I would have joined her the first time she asked me, that would have been great. I would have started my business sooner and I could have gotten rocking and rolling sooner. But I feel like it all kind of happens at the right time for the right reasons. And you just, something has to all click. Okay. So wherever you are, if you've been doing this for a while, I kind of feel like you're supposed to go through whatever you've been through. If you just joined, this was probably just the right time for you to join. Something just clicked and it was right. Okay. I truly feel like our journey is meant for us in this business. And you're going to go, and I'm going to get into this in a minute. I'm kind of interjecting in my story. You're going to go through these highs and these lows. But I feel like there can be purpose found in all of them. So I'll kind of touch on that here in a little bit, but let's go back to the story. I ended up joining, but I joined as a wholesale ambassador. I was not going to work the business. Well, then she got me on a call with her sponsor, and we kind of just talked about what the business model looked like and what the income potential was. And I said, well, maybe I could, tiptoe into this. Maybe I could get my sisters to sign up. Maybe I could get my mom to sign up. And then the next thing I knew, I was like, what the heck? What the heck do I have to lose? Let's give it a go. If Emily can do this, I can do this. And so I just kind of jumped in. I was all in. I said, let's just see what happens in a year. Let's just see what I can make happen. Because at this point, I'm a stay-at-home mom, losing myself. I have no income. I'm kind of feeling like, when my friends want to get together for dinner, I'm feeling, bad about spending the money, or if I ever wanted to treat myself to a pedicure, well, I just didn't. So I'm like, what do I have to lose? This was so different from my other network marketing experiences as well, because I didn't have to keep inventory. So with that company, I think, I had to pay that like $100 enrollment, which still isn't bad when you get your own business, but I had $500, $600 worth of product they invested in initially. Some of which is still upstairs, and that was like 6 years ago. I probably should throw that out. So when I saw that was not the case with Plexus, I thought I could try to see what I could make happen. And things happened very quickly. I went in very nervous about what other people were going to think about me. That was something. I'm a people pleaser, and I would like to say that I'm a recovered people pleaser, but it still is a struggle for me every day. And I didn't want people to think that I was trying to take advantage of them, or I was trying to just make money off of my friends. How many of you guys have heard that? And so that was kind of a process that I had to get through, but I did it. I was unapologetic in putting it out there. And it became even more genuine as I started to see a change in myself. Didn't have huge health issues, but losing weight was awesome. So right away, my friend saw that. But I had a crazy sugar addiction. I have always loved working out. So I would go and I would bust my tail at the gym for an hour doing like a hard workout, only to come home, get the kids down for a nap, and bust open my Diet Dr. Pepper and cookies. My weakness were those dang lemon Oreos. If you have ever had them, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never had them, don't even attempt it because it's a slippery slope, folks. But I had the Diet Dr. Pepper, so it was all good. I was saving some calories when I ate an entire row of those Oreos while watching Real Housewives of insert city. So that was kind of my life. Once that started to go away and I didn't want my Diet Dr. Pepper anymore, and I was drinking all this water, I was losing this weight, I wasn't buying the dang lemon Oreo. You guys, I can't tell you enough, don't buy the lemon Oreos. I wasn't buying those anymore. I was starting to feel better. I had more energy. I was sleeping better. I have always struggled with anxiety in my life. It just runs in my family. I was feeling that start to subside. I was feeling happier, more content with my life. I felt like I was being a better wife, a better mom, more patient. And how could I not tell people about that? When I go back and I really think about it, I wish I would have just trusted Emily from the start with what she was saying Plexus was doing for her husband, Dan. Why not just trust what she was saying? But once I was experiencing it for myself, then it really took off. I will always say I am so glad, though, that I started to share before I had my story, because it wasn't a surprise to my audience. I was able to plant seeds and let them know what I was doing. And then I knew that I had people keeping a close eye on me, which kind of helped me keep myself accountable. And then once I had this story, my pants were falling off of me and I was, drinking water and not Diet Dr. Pepper, people were ready to jump on board. So things moved pretty quickly. One of my first paychecks was more than I made in a year with my old company. So pretty fantastic. And I remember seeing that paycheck on the financial status, whenever they closed financials, it was April 1st. And I texted my husband, I said, you know what my check is going to be? And he thought it was an April Fool's joke. And it wasn't. He was so excited that was what I was actually making, just starting out with this company. And so things were just really exciting. He jumped in, was so excited to, kind of be my partner. He's real introverted. And I don't know if you can tell I'm pretty extroverted. And I apologize. I talk really fast. My students always had to keep up with me. So I hope you're keeping up with me here with my story. I ended up hitting Emerald in 9 months, 3 months later Diamond, and then I was able to re-enter under myself, and I am senior gold now. Now, I will say all of this was not because I'm fabulous. I'm not amazing. I'm a normal mom who just kind of went for it, and have all these wonderful people that are on my team, and that's one of the biggest things that I can say has brought success for me and my team is just how close we are. And we just really like doing life together. And so working together just really, really works for us. So for me, what's changed besides my health, my family's health, right when I was pushing for Diamond, I was very pregnant with baby number 3, who was a surprise. I like to tell people sometimes some things can happen when you start to lose a little weight and you're feeling good. You sometimes might end up with a surprise Plexus baby. And I would love to say that my one Plexus pregnancy was my best, but Plexus couldn't fix what I had going on. I had, if anybody knows, placenta previa. And so I had some hemorrhaging issues. I was in and out of the hospital. But all along, surprise baby or bonus baby. Yes, exactly. I wouldn't trade her for the world. Well, maybe some days. I was in the hospital 2 weeks before I was delivering. They had me deliver a scheduled C-section at 36 weeks, but I was admitted, not able to leave the four walls of my hospital room because of hemorrhaging. They were nervous about me going into labor. Through all of that, my OB still let me take my Plexus products. So I always like to share that story with people because I feel like that really speaks to the quality of what we've got and the safety of what we've got. And it really helped me get through that. It was tough. I had two young kids. I had a 4-year-old and I had a 2-year-old. And I was on bed rest most of my pregnancy. I was unable to really be with them, and they're little. And in fact, early on with that pregnancy, they had thought I had placenta accreta, which your placenta can grow in the surrounding organs. It comes with this mortality rate. So we were doing all sorts of things like looking into willing my business to the family, like going through some crazy stuff. And for somebody who has struggled with anxiety, let me tell you, I really, really believe that Plexus helped me get through that and not lose my marbles. So what did I take? I was on Triplex. I took Mega X Factor, so my doctor was cool with that in place of a prenatal. And I prefer that X Factor because I could take it on an empty stomach and it didn't upset me like prenatals. Gosh, I'm trying to think of what else there was. That was it during my pregnancy, but my doctor was cool with all of those, and everything else was great. All of my other labs were amazing. And then I feel like I was able to bounce back, get back to the gym, do all the things that I was able to do before, thanks to Plexus. So that was a long, discussion of my story. I usually don't go into it too much, but I feel like there's some little nuggets of truth or wisdom you can pull from that. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, first of all, if you're one of the new people that have recently joined the team, I want to tell you that you have made one of the smartest decisions. It's probably going to be a wild ride, but it's going to be so, so worth it. I, after having been with another network marketing company, and just once Plexus was taking off for me, I was like, what is happening? What is going on with this compensation plan? Was this other company just really bad, or is Plexus just really good? And so I kind of started to become a student of comp plans, which sounds totally nerdy. I get it. But I liked looking up average incomes for different companies, and I liked looking up what the compensation plans looked like. And I can tell you with full faith, from what I have studied and what I've seen, Plexus has the best in terms of being able to be sustaining throughout time, in terms of being able to reward you no matter if you joined right when Plexus started or if you're joining us now today. The amount of income that you can earn is up to you and your hard work. And the level of success that you want to reach is still attainable. It's not one of those things where you better jump in now or you're going to miss the boat. Plexus just has a compensation plan that's so, so fair, so, so generous, and honestly, the best one out there. So you've made a really wise decision. Now, with that, if you're new or even if you've been around a while, I want to make sure that you are sticking to the systems that we have in place. You don't need to go rogue and do all sorts of crazy things. Save your time, save your energy, and you need to follow the systems that we have in place. I know that your team pages have information on this send, share, invite. Make sure you're following through with that because that system works, okay? If you don't know what that is, message your upline and they can go into that because that's not what I'm going to train on right now. I want to talk to you guys, and this is going to be great for anybody that's joined recently or that's been around for a while. I want to tell you a few things that you need to have in place in order to stick it out and get to where you're meant to be, which is success. You deserve to see success, okay? And so I want to talk about what you need to have in place because like I mentioned earlier, this is a wild ride. Oh my gosh. There are the highest highs and the lowest lows as you go through it. And that's life, okay? That's business, that's life. And some of the things you have to have in place to make it through include, number one, a strong why. What do you want from this? So people can take this, and I know there's all sorts of theories on what your why needs to look like. Some people say your why needs to make you cry. Some people say that your why needs to be very specific. Some people say that your why should be ever evolving. That's one thing that I do agree with, that it should be ever evolving. But just kind of think about why you're doing this. And right now it might just be to get healthy and get your family healthy. But think about that and revisit that. Don't just think about it in the beginning and then forget about it. That's something that's going to have to be there to help you through when your best friend tells you that Plexus doesn't work and she doesn't feel any different. Okay. Or I actually did have that happen. One of my best friends was the first one of my good friends to join me. And a few weeks in, she's like, how do I cancel this? I'm not feeling any different. I'm not liking this. I was devastated. That was the first of my, close circle of friends to join. And I'm like, well, nobody else is going to join. They're all going to talk to her and say, it doesn't work. Well, ironically enough, she ended up telling me later, a few months later, that she thinks she missed out on what this was all about, and she was ready to give it a go and actually wanted to join my team rather than be a customer. And today she is my top ambassador. So those people that quit, you can't always give up. They might come around. That is my number one girl. So just remember that. But that why is huge. So I had to go back and I had to think, why am I doing this? Oh yeah. At the time I needed a purpose outside of my home. And I'm not saying that everybody does need that, but I did. I needed something else to focus on. I love my kids, and now being home is amazing. But I needed something to focus on outside of that. Okay, so another thing that is great to have in order to make it through, to stick it out, is accountability. Okay, so this could be somebody that jumps on with you if you're just now starting, some good friends to start on their health journey with you. For me, as I was going on, the health part wasn't so difficult for me. But as I was going through and getting tough questions or getting criticism, it was really important for me to have other ambassadors that were working their business to bounce ideas off of, to collaborate with. And so I have a couple different groups of people, some that I started at the beginning with, some that I've kind of found that I really mesh with along the way. And I'm in these message threads, and it's a great place because we've got different skill sets, and we can help each other out. And it doesn't have to be a whole group. It could just be one other person, but just somebody that is going to keep you on track. And I will caution you with these. Sometimes these can turn a little negative. And that's not the group you want to be in, okay? So if you ever find yourself in a message thread that's negative, you want to get on out, because a negative mindset is so poisonous, and it is so easy to spread that around like the flu to everyone around you. And so, or muting the conversation, whatever you need to do. But find your people that keep you uplifted, that cheer you on, that encourage you, that help you, and that's going to help you along the way. And sometimes that doesn't mean you don't go to these people and just say, I'm feeling down, I need to pick me up. You can go in with that as long as your intention is to pull yourself up and come away from that. So accountability is huge. And then probably the biggest thing of all is going to be mindset. And you guys hear this all the time. This is something that is an ongoing process. You can't just, or at least in my experience so far, you can't just completely master it. There's always going to be something that you need to continue to work on with your mindset. And I truly believe that you can't achieve the level of success that you're destined for unless you are you have a healthy mindset, unless you're working towards that. If you guys, I don't know if you had posted on your team page, I totally missed out on this, but Brooke Hemingway had Preston Pugmire do a call for her last night. And I just listened to the YouTube recording. I wasn't able to be on last night. And it was powerful. It was so huge. And he said that, mindset over strategy. You got to get your mindset right before you even take any sort of, strategic route in this business. And so if you haven't listened to that, I highly encourage it, because it was really, really powerful. Mindset for me is a constant battle, because I feel like it can be really tough for us, because most of our business is done through social media, And you guys know social media is a highlight reel, right? Sometimes people get vulnerable on there and they'll share some of their truths, but for the most part, you just see, happy marriages and beautiful smiling kids that don't look like they're, arguing ever. You see people's promotions, you see people earning iPads, you see all these things. And there's a couple things that you have to keep in mind. What you see is not always accurate, okay? For example, yesterday for Easter, that was 2 days ago, Sunday for Easter, I posted, somehow my kids took this magical picture. Like it looked like they were posed by a photographer. They were so cute. It was just me on our stairs. They look like they're absolutely in love with each other. Really behind the scenes, what was going on was I was telling them they couldn't get their tablets until they took a good picture. So you better sit there and smile and look like you love each other. And it was it turned out so great. But all of the outtakes were quite hilarious. Because with 3 kiddos, 6 and under, you never know what you're going to get. But I had people asking, like, how do your kids just really get along like this? No. You don't see people typically posting too much about their marriage being in a bad place, right? You might complain about your kids on Facebook. I definitely do that because that's where it's easy to keep it real. But I think, you see those kinds of things. You see people and it just looks like they have the most perfect marriage and, oh, they're on another vacation again, or, oh, they're out on another date night and I can't get a sitter. And you just start to feel really bad about yourself. Or you see all these promotions and instead of being inspired by them, you just compare yourself. Beyond not knowing, what is really going on, you also don't know what it took to get them there. So that happy, smiling couple that you see pictured on Facebook, maybe they've been going to counseling for years and years and years to get to this place where they're finally in a good place. Or the businesses, you might see people on the leaderboard and you don't realize what they've been going through and the doubt that they've had, or the negative mindset that they've been stuck in, that they've worked so hard to get themselves out of to get their businesses picked back up. So I just really encourage you not to fall victim to that comparison bug, okay? And it's hard when we're on social media, but just always remember there's more to the story, there's more to the story, there's more to the story. And there's more to your story. So whatever you're feeling, if you're feeling excited about your business, that's incredible. Know that there's going to be work that comes along with that. And you can do it. If you're in a bad place, know that that's not the end. Okay, that you can pull yourself out, you can work on your mindset, you can get back to it. And it really does go like this. It really, really does. And I've been down here, but nobody posted about it. My sponsor didn't say, I just want to announce that Jaclyn has lost rank for the month of March. It's not out there, right? So just remember, and I didn't lose because March was amazing, right? Thank you, Jesus. But just keep that in mind. Mindset is huge. It is really, really, really everything. And again, if you haven't checked out that recording, I definitely recommend it. Those are just a few of my tips, some of the things that have helped me get through. And I also like to just look at how far I've come. So for you, if that is, you're a few weeks in and you've signed your first ambassador, look back to when you started. You didn't have anyone on your team. Now you got a team. You're a leader. Congratulations. Or maybe it's been longer than that. For me, my biggest reflections happen when I am at my kids' school. So my oldest is in first grade and I'm the room mom. And so when I walk in the building as the room mom, I'm like, this wouldn't be possible. When I retired from teaching before starting Plexus, the plan was for me to go back to teaching once the kids were in school. And that's not my reality anymore. I got rid of my teaching stuff. And so I can be that room mom. I can volunteer for the field trips for all 3 of my kids. I get to be there for that kind of stuff. And that's huge. So looking back to where I started, overwhelmed, skeptical, hesitant, no income, to where I am now, it's just been amazing. And I try to focus on the gratitude through the peaks, through the valleys. That gratitude is huge, and looking at how far I've come. So that's all I've got for you guys today.
That was awesome. Thank you for sharing. I love your story. And let me tell you, she's got the cutest kiddos for sure. We love that. I'm like, yeah, I have been there with the bribery on the pictures for sure. And it doesn't really get easier when they get older. They argue about different things. So just wait. Especially
Oh goodness, I can't even wait. I've got my two girls are the most hard-headed girls, which I want them on my team is what I want. So they need to be 18 and join my team because
there you go.
those girls don't take no.
There you go. Well, they're gonna grow up thinking the greatest job is Plexus because that's what their mom does. So you're already planting some good seeds with them there. So I have a question for you real quick because, we do have so many newbies that have, joined. We did have a fantastic March. We just talked about how many people joined us. But if you were a new person and you joined, not necessarily for the business side, just like, when Emily twisted your arm and made you join, like what advice would you give that new person who's not quite sure if they want to do the business, but you don't want them to miss out on the opportunity, right? You want them to get going. What advice would you give that person?
So I know the biggest thing that I hear from people is, I just want to wait till I have a story. And I would really encourage you not to do that. I would really encourage you to just put it out there, what you're doing. We actually encourage you never to be salesy, but especially with that first post that you put out there or those first few posts, you're just telling people what you're doing. You're not making any promises. You're not saying that my life has changed in this 1 week I've been on Plexus, but you're just putting it out there like, hey, I did something. I did a thing. And here's what I'm looking for. And I'm so excited about what could possibly happen. And just putting it out there and being genuine and honest. I do actually have a story of somebody who did not do this. And they regretted it big time because they were waiting for their story. When they went to make their first post, because they did have a story, because Plexus is amazing. And if you work with it, it will work for you. Once they made their post, they noticed their sister-in-law made a post that same day. They're very, very close. They're not on the same team, but they didn't tell each other. And they'd been doing this for a while. And then they put this post out and they're not on the same team. And so, people they were upset about that. People can feel a little cheated out of your story if you don't introduce it as you begin. They want to watch your journey. They want to see you along the way. And you know what? You may find out that this business isn't for you, or you might find out that you just kind of want to dabble in it, get your products paid for, and get a few customers or a few ambassadors. And that's super simple. Or you might taste that success. And let me tell you, when you're getting those text messages from your friends and family that they are feeling better and they're having these health victories, it kind of gets to be like, you can't stop. You might find that to be true. There are too many people out there right now that are suffering with health issues, with financial issues, that it really is selfish to keep it to yourself and not put it out there. Let them make the call if they want to do it or not, but at least put it on the table and let them know that it's there.
I totally agree. I mean, like you said, you see everybody's highlight reel on Facebook. You don't know what they're really struggling with. Somebody, who you think is perfectly healthy, works out all the time, eats perfectly, but totally struggles with, lemon Oreos, eating a sleep, which I've never even seen, but I guess I'm glad I haven't. So you don't know their struggles, right? You don't know if they have anxiety or they have bad allergies, which I think everybody has right now in Texas for sure. But you just don't know. And if you're not sharing, you're not going to grow a business. Your closed sign is on your door, which is, I preach that all the time. If you're going to have a business and you're going to have it open, the open sign needs to be up. But if you're not talking about your business, nobody knows because you are the marketer for your business, right? So I love that that we can reach so many different people. It doesn't have to be, just for weight loss. It doesn't have to be just for anxiety. It doesn't have to be just for skin issues, because everybody has something going on. They might just need a great vitamin, right? That doesn't make them feel sick, which our X Factor green bottle is amazing because you can take it on an empty stomach and you don't feel nauseous, which with all 4 of my babies, all the prenatals made me sick. They just did. And you just had to suffer through it because that's what we had, right? So I love that we have this great alternative and it helps people. So thank you so much. Do you have any last tidbits or words of wisdom for us as we start the end of April?
You guys, we are coming off of an epic month. And so it is, I know for a lot of people, it's like, oh, I want to take a breath. you can take a breath, but you've got to keep things going, especially as this month is ending. Keep running, keep going, because you might be tired. And this is what I tell my daughter. She plays all the sports. And towards the end of her games, she gets, I can tell she's getting tired. But once the game's over, she wishes it was still going on. So I'm like, you might feel tired right now, but you have got to keep going and give it all that you've got, because before you know it, that game is over. So before you guys know it, this month is over. And I promise, once that clock ticks 11 p.m. Central Standard Time on the last day of the month, you can take a little breath. You can take a little relaxation and then pick it back up. But you guys go all the way, finish out this month strong. This is the month of promotions, but it's up to you to make sure that it happens. Go into your back office. If you've been around a while, you've got a team, check to see who's close to promotion, work with them, encourage your team, and just make this epic month number 2 for Plexus, because it totally can and will be.
That's right. I totally agree. Well, thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom with us. We appreciate it. And I have got a list of things to go over with us. And I know you're crazy busy. If you want to hop off, say bye to Jaclyn. Y'all.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Y'all, wasn't she great? I just love her. She's just a sweetie. And I met her, like I said, end of February, and just had a ball with her. So I knew she would be great. I want to go over some things with y'all because, like always, it's crazy how many things that we have going on, and I don't want us to miss a thing. So, hang on, I messed up my view here. Okay, so right now, this month, we have the Joyome gift with purchase. Has anybody gotten theirs yet? Anybody? I'm dying to know how that necklace is. It looks really cute, but I haven't gotten mine yet. The Giving Keys is a really cool organization that employs people that otherwise probably couldn't find a job. So it's a homeless people that they employ. And so I love this organization for all that they stand for. And we already actually have some of the Giving Key necklaces. My daughters do. So I love that we have this, and it's a $48 value that you get for free, y'all, when you get Joyome this month. It's also a very nice Mother's Day pack. So if you're getting it for a gift, it will look really nice. If you haven't done so yet, in the back office, when you log into your virtual office, we've called it back office for so long that I can't stop saying that. It's the virtual office. At the bottom, there's a place for My Story. It's in the back. And you can create your story there. There's a lot of stories already in there that you can share. If you're looking for a story to share, either on Facebook or with a friend, look back there, because you might, just like Jaclyn was a former teacher, she's got 3 kids, she's a stay-at-home mom, she wanted more purpose in her life. You might find a story like that you can share with somebody. Say, this person made me think of you. This person has a similar story to you. Look at the success they're having. This made me, this is why I'm sending this to you. Then they might ask for more information, right? So look back there in My Stories. There's stories you can share. You can also add your story in there if you have a story to share. Make sure if you have a big story, like, I've been around in Plexus for 6 years now, so I've got lots of little stories, right? So I'm not going to just share one story because it would be way too long. Share lots of little stories, whether it's health or financial blessings. There's a Bloom Your Business incentive right now. All new ambassadors get a code that is good for 3 free enrollments. Okay, we don't want those to go to waste. So if you have a new ambassador that joined in April, they got their code. Make sure they are using all 3 of their codes. If not, share them with somebody who you think might need some codes. Okay, so whether it's your upline or a downline or a sideline or you, make sure those codes get used, because we don't want them going to waste, and they are definitely transferable. So obviously talk to your ambassador about using them, but if you know it's somebody that's definitely not growing a business, like your Aunt Sally or something like that, then you should definitely share those codes. So that's for all the ambassadors in April. They got those codes. And then anybody that turns silver this month gets another code good for 3 uses. Now the codes that, if somebody joins in April, their codes are good until May 15th. That's amazing. Okay, so they're good until May 15th. Also, if you turn silver in April, your codes are good until May 15th. So even if they don't decide to use them this month, they can definitely use them next month, but we don't want any of those codes to go to waste. And I don't know if the codes will continue. We didn't think they would this month. They continued them this month for new ambassadors. I don't know if they're going to still do that next month. So let's just make sure we use those up. And then the $199 welcome packs are on sale right now for $189. Okay, so that's a good deal. They're already discounted at least 40% off of prices. So you want to share those $199 welcome packs. Another great incentive for those welcome packs is that they give us 5 points. So if you're looking for a promotion, you want to sign somebody with a $199 welcome pack. Not only will you get a business building bonus, but you'll get 5 points good towards your promotion. So remember, they're still doing super silver promotions too. Okay, super silver promotions means that you have 50 points in your organization. Okay, so you need, I think it's 15 in your outside leg. Is that right? Somebody tell me. I think it is. 15 in your outside leg, and then 50 overall will get you to silver. Okay, 15 in your outside leg, and 85 other points, total of 100 points will get you to gold. Okay, there's a lot of people going for super silver and gold this month. And just like Jaclyn said, do not stop pushing until the last day of the month, because you could be at like 15 points right now and still get enough people to join you and get to that 50 points and get to super silver by the end of the month. All those promotion bonuses get paid out on the 15th of May for April. Okay, so you want to make sure that you promote by the end of the month, or get those points in by the end of the month so that you can get that promotion check on the 15th of May. Otherwise, it would be the 15th of June, right? We get paid promotion checks or promotion bonuses on our commission check days, which is the 15th of the month. Okay, there's still Fast Start going on. So if you're a new ambassador, you can earn all kinds of Fast Start bonuses. Those are detailed in our virtual office. And if you haven't looked, go back there and look under resources, because you've got Fast Start bonuses where you can earn up to almost $500 if you can turn silver in your first 14 days. If anybody even with an inkling of growing a business, get them started right away. And just like Jaclyn said, don't wait till you have a story, and instead share what you're doing and the possibility and the hope of what you are hoping for with Plexus, and you will have friends jump on and do it with you. And just 3 will get you to silver, which will get you that first $150 bonus in your first 14 days. Okay, in addition to your silver bonus, which is another $100. So it's $250 in your first 14 days. That's huge. Okay. Also this month is the double business building bonuses, the BBBs. Once you get your second new ambassador that buys a welcome pack, whether it's $99 or $199, once you get that second one, you're going to get double business building bonuses. So, okay, so if you get one, you get $25, right? You get another, for every level 1 that you add, you get $25. Okay, so once you unlock that second one, you're going to get $50. And if you get a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth, you're going to get 50 for each one of those. You've unlocked the double business building bonuses. That is huge. Doesn't matter if it's a $99 or a $199 welcome kit. Doesn't matter. Okay, you're going to get double the bonuses once you hit that second one. That's a really cool incentive. That's a very encouraging incentive to get us. The first one is not double. It's just the second one. The second one unlocks the double, and then from there on after is the double. Okay. Super silver. Okay, Super Saturday Express is going to be monthly. So you know how Super Saturday is every January, right? I think it's usually within the first week or two in January. We have Super Saturday, which is our largest, biggest training day of the year. Well, Plexus said, hey, we need to do this monthly. So we are going to start a Super Saturday Express, which is going to be a full day of training. The first one is this Saturday. Here's the difference. It is free, whereas before we had to pay for it if you were watching it virtually. But now it is going to be free, but you have to register. Okay, you register so that you can be in, because they need to know how big of a Zoom room or a webinar room to buy, right, or to host. So if you're not registered and they've bought this room that holds 5,000 people and you're 5,002, it's not going to hold you. They have to cut it off somewhere, right? So that's why we want to register, to make sure that you're in. You will get the email that tells you how to log in and everything for Saturday. but you have to register. That I know it's posted in my page. I'm sure it's posted in Beth's and Ariel's as well. But it's called Super Saturday Express. Also, you can find it in the pack, the Plexus Ambassador community page, which please nod your head that you're in that page, because there's so much training in that group that you don't want to miss. Okay, so make sure you're in the pack. Make sure you add all the ambassadors to the pack. Make sure you add all the ambassadors to at least one Diamonds page. Okay. What else? Oh, every Monday night is every Monday night we have the opportunity calls, right? So we just had one last night, and we also have new ambassador trainings on Mondays, and those are through the pack. Also on Tuesday night, so tonight, there should be a product training call. So you're going to look in the pack for that. It may actually, no, I think it is in the pack. The opportunity calls, I believe, are on Plexus Worldwide. I have both Plexus Worldwide and Plexus Ambassador Community set to show up on my newsfeed first, so I'd make sure that I don't miss anything. Y'all know how to do that. You can go into settings on your groups, and you can say when you would want to see them in your newsfeed. So I just want to make sure I don't miss anything, okay? And even as a Diamond Ambassador, I don't have everything spoon-fed to me. I've got to find out information just like y'all. I look in the scoop. I look on the Plexus Ambassador community page. I look on Plexus Worldwide, and I look at my Diamond page to find all my scoop to share with y'all. So y'all have the same opportunity except for the Diamond page that I do. So make sure that you're in those groups so that you don't miss anything. There's also something new called the Plexus Sneak Peek. I'm not totally sure of what that is, but it is new. Hang on. Chris Pike was sending me something about it. Hold on. Okay, I don't have it yet. So whatever it is, I believe the sneak peek is going to be kind of like a story that will tell you a story about somebody's, how they got started and how they're doing now. A little sneak peek into an ambassador's success. So there's another one that we're sharing, if you're on my team page right now, about Wendy Larson and how she had 7 weeks where it wasn't working. She was ready to give up. Now she's a Diamond Ambassador. So you just never know how somebody's start was and how they finished, how could this change their life if they just stick with it, right? So what do we all want to do? We all want to give up quickly without giving it, products a full time to work, the business a full time to work. Stick with it. And stick with the send, share, invite system for growing your team. It's in our back office, and it is a proven system that works. If you don't know what it is, you just log into your virtual office. You go back there to resources, and it'll say start here. It'll say send, share, invite. It will show you the videos to send to people. It will give you the verbiage to say. It's exactly what you need so that we're all on the same page when it comes to training, what to do, and how to promote our business. So I think that is all that we have. Every Tuesday morning at 10:30, we have these calls. So I'm thankful that y'all all came today. And I'm recording this now, so I will have it to share with everybody that missed it here soon. All righty. I hope that y'all have a great rest of the day and rest of April, and we will talk to y'all later. Bye.